Hello guys, my name is Ivy J and I'm here with a review of the Leatherman Free T4. It is a multi-tool in Leatherman's free series. With that, let's go ahead and get into it. This type of tool is a multi-tool, does not have the pliers. It has a knife, it has some tools on either side. They do have multi-tools with the pliers that fold out, and then they also have a type of multi-tool, which is mainly a knife with some tools embedded in the scales. This T4 is the bigger one in their free series. They also have a T2 that is smaller, doesn't have all of the tools that this one has. I think it only has tools on one end. It doesn't have the tools on the other side, but it is the same length. All of the tools in the free series have what are considered one hand operation or deployment of the tools, and they're held down by magnets. So all you have to do is push on the very top here and you're able to pick them up, and then you're able to sort out which one you want and push it all the way, except for the knife. The knife does have some sort of detent, and when you try to pull it, it has some sort of like springy action and it'll go back down. And all of the tools on this multi-tool lock. So these tools on this side lock with this mechanism, and the tools on the other end lock with the mechanism on the other side. Pretty easy. You're always gonna, if you're right-handed, this is pretty nice because you're gonna have your thumb right here and you just push it back and put it down. I think what Leatherman was trying to do here was give you kind of a heavy duty Swiss Army knife. If you bring in the Spartan Swiss Army knife, this knife is the same length. So they're both 3.6 inches in length. I have here the NAF's ruler, titanium ruler. So shout out to NAF's. The main difference between these two is that you'll see the Leatherman is considerably thicker, and it is also wider as well. A little bit wider. I think they are kind of on the thickest end of the Swiss Army knife. It is the same, but then it kind of tapers down to something a lot smaller. So I think this is what they're trying to compete with. Not necessarily exactly, because it does have pretty big differences. So I'll get into that. Just for another size comparison here, I have the Para 3. So in case you're used to the size of the Para 3, it's there. It comes in at around 121 grams or 4.3 ounces. It is this way, an inch in width, and the thickness is about 0.7 inches. So those are the overall specs. So we'll go ahead and get started into the overview of the different tools and some things that I like and some things that I don't like about it. On this side, the main tool you'll see is the knife, which is deployed through this thumb hole here. You're able to just kind of pull it out with the thumb hole, and it deploys all the way out. And once it's all the way out, it locks. So this here is the locking mechanism. If you push it back, you're able to then bring down the knife, and it is a one-handed operation. So without pushing back this lever, it's locked in. It's not going anywhere. Once you want to store it, you pull it back. The material of this knife is 420HC, which is a stainless steel. It is similar to that of an Oz 8, but the Oz 8 I think is just slightly better. It is a pretty good steel that you can sharpen pretty easily, and it is corrosion resistant. It is similar to the steel that you'd see on your Buck 112 Ranger, for example, and your Buck knives. So it's a pretty popular steel, but it's not like one of your super steels. It has a straight edge here, a nice little belly, draw point. The next tool that you'll find on the T4 is the pry tool. It is also a large screwdriver here, and this little sharp edge here is what they call a package opener. So it is three kind of tools in one. This large screwdriver is what I use for my camera mounts. I don't use a package opener that often because I tend to just gravitate to the knife when I'm opening packages. But if you are sort of in an office setting or in a place that, pulling out a knife might be kind of scary, then you might want to have the package opener. So the other tool on this end, the last tool on this end, is the file, and it has two different sides. It has this side here, which is kind of straight lines, and then the crosshatch on the other end. This is a crosshatch. This side's a little bit more aggressive, so it'll remove material a lot faster than this other end, is what Leatherman says. This screwdriver tip is like a medium-sized screwdriver, and this file can be used for either wood or metal. Then you also have tweezers here, which we can compare with the Swiss Army knife tweezers. And they are, pretty similar actually. If I hold them like this, you'll be able to see that they are almost identical. I think that the Leatherman has a little bit different shape. They're kind of angled compared to the Swiss Army knife, which are straight, but the thickness of them are pretty similar. I think the springiness, if anything, nope, they're pretty much the same. They're both about 2 inches long. To me, I think you can use them for like, taking out splinters or things like that. Very small. They're not going to be as good as, your regular cosmetic tweezers or something like that. On your other end, you have 3 different tools. They all lock as well. So you have your scissors, your awl, and your Phillips screwdriver. So we'll take a look at the scissors first. These are pretty nice scissors. These are, a good size scissors. And just for comparison, I have the Leatherman Wave scissors, and they're smaller. They're smaller than the scissors that you'll find on the T4. And another thing that I like compared to the Wave on the scissors that you'll find on the T4 is that in order to close them, all you have to do is close them in like that. The same orientation that you have them when they're open. In comparison to the scissors on the T4, you have to actually fully open them and then push them closed, which is a big difference. It's just another step. It makes it more difficult to use, more difficult to deploy. So like I said, I like the scissors on the T4 compared to the ones on the Wave. The next tool that you'll find on the T4 is the awl, which is a tool that's been liked by a lot of people that use Leathermans. It's a tool that's not on the Wave. It also has a small precision screwdriver at the end of it. It has a hole for a thread. And then this edge, similar to the edge that I described on the package opener, is a little bit sharp. So while you're driving this awl into some material, this edge here will work to cut open that hole as you're driving it in. And you'll be able to push it all the way through and then take it out, with ease because of this sharp edge there. So that is the awl. And the last tool on this end is the screwdriver with the bottle opener on the bottom side. So this screwdriver here is one integrated screwdriver. You have some other Leatherman tools that have the bits that come on and off. It's a Phillips head number 2, and it is like their 2D bits. It's grinded off on either end, but in my experience, this doesn't hurt its ability to engage the screw heads. It's still able to, take screws out, put them in. I think the way they try to orientate this is that they try to line it up on the middle of it, so it makes it a little bit easier to use. So you don't have like one side of the tool heavier than the other as you're turning it, which is kind of nice. It's not directly in the middle, but it is, I think they are making sort of an effort to do that there. Compared to the bit that you see on the Leatherman bit kit, that bit is a little bit different. The bit on the Leatherman bit kit is actually meant to engage Phillips number 1 and Phillips number 2 screw heads, as where I think this one's only meant to engage Phillips number 2. I think that you can also tell that the shape of the head is a little bit different, and that this head is slightly bigger, the one on the T4 compared to the one that comes on the bit kit. That being said, I mean, I haven't had a problem using the screwdriver here, and I think the screwdrivers that come on, you know, kind of like built in, are usually a little bit stronger than the ones that come with the bit kit. I do like that all of the tools are locking tools. It makes it very safe to use. I feel very comfortable putting any leverage on any one of those tools. I'm not afraid that they'll just slip closed or something like that, and I move my hand in a weird way. I like that they're easily deployable, so the use of the magnets, I think, is very neat the way they did that, and it's very easy to close as well, all of these tools. So, you know, the one-handed operation, the locking tools, the variety of tools that are in this tool set are very nice. For me, it sits at my desk at my home office, and I'm able to use it for a lot of different things. So I don't necessarily travel with it or anything like that. I'd rather take my Swiss Army knife for that. But compared to the Swiss Army knife, you know, you have these little nail nicks here. It's kind of hard to get in there sometimes, especially if you just cut your nails. I prefer the ease of the operation of the T4, actually. That's one of the things I think they did right here. That does come with the cost of being a little bit thicker. I think the way they embedded the magnets and the way this is laid out, they had to use a lot of this glass filled nylon is what they call it here. So it's a very, you know, hard plastic. I haven't had any problems with it. It seems kind of cheap, but it doesn't really scratch or dent easily actually. So I did have a P4 on, which is the pliers version of the Leatherman Free series, and it did have a little plastic part that fell off. So I ended up returning that one. I didn't order another one. This one's a little bit different because it seems like it's one integrated piece, or two distinct pieces actually. I would like on this pocket clip for them to have a recessed pocket clip and recessed screws. Now this pocket clip is what you would see in the Free series, and it's a deep carry clip. One gripe that I do have about it is that initially, when I'd use it, my pants pocket would get caught right there. So my pants would slide in through here. They would get caught right there, and I'd have to kind of jig it when it got to that point, and then, you know, kind of slide it in the rest of the way. And what I went ahead and did was I sanded down the screw head and the actual pocket clip there to make it sort of like a ramp. So when I put it in my pants pocket, it just kind of slides up there. Since I've done that, I really haven't had any problems with it. Other than that, I think, I mean, those are the main items. You have this lanyard hole here. That's a little bit difficult to get into, and the hole is kind of small. It's not very big, so a small paracord maybe will do the trick there. I haven't used it. So that's it. Let me know in the comments what you like about this multi-tool, what you don't like about this multi-tool. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, subscribe. With that said, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you later.